Hello friends, welcome back to our channel UiPath by Sujita. In this video, we are going to continue in learning about few more actions available in UiPath Studio Debug ribbon. Okay, in our previous video, we have covered few of the options related to debug ribbon, right? Now, this is going to be the continuation video to part 1. Okay, let's move on to our studio. And if you see in the debug ribbon, there are 3 options, right? 3 tabs here: home, design, debug. Now we are talking about debug. So in our first video, we have covered until focus. Now let us start with the breakpoints. Okay, so breakpoints on mouse over to this, it is giving a shortcut that is F9. So the shortcut of breakpoint is F9. So this is going to be your interview question. So keep this in mind. Also, it will be easy for you to navigate or to use this option whenever it is needed while debugging this code, while debugging your automation. So not only with the interview perspective, try to remember and try to learn so that it will ease your automation experience. Okay, so now let us click on this. It gives 2 options: toggle breakpoint, show breakpoints panel. When you click on this particular breakpoints panel being appeared, right? Now let us go back and use toggle breakpoint. When you use toggle breakpoint after selecting any activity, see, let me have this. Let me use this toggle breakpoint. See, some red symbol came. That means breakpoint been added here. And if you go back to your breakpoints panel, there are multiple symbols here. This says delete all breakpoints and enable all breakpoints and disable all breakpoints. If you see here in the breakpoints panel, the breakpoint, whatever been added to the activity, been noted here, right? So if we have one more activity, and let me add a breakpoint to this, see, immediately this been saved here. That means the breakpoints panel will show all the available breakpoints and it will enable us to either delete all breakpoints or disable or enable the breakpoints. Okay, so this is the overall concept of breakpoints. Let us move on to the next one. So one more point I want to highlight here is whatever options we are talking about now are solely related to debugging. So those will not be available during runtime. So only when you are debugging your automation, you will come to know, or you will be able to use this actions. Okay. Now let us see slow step. Slow step, on mouse over to this, it says debug at slower speeds from the slowest 1x to the fastest 4x speed using highlight to monitor each step of the execution. Right? Clear? So this slow step enables us to take a closer look to any activity while debugging. This can be enabled before or after debugging. Okay. So using this will not pause the debugging. So this is how it is going to be used. Now let us move on to the execution trial. Execution trial. What it says, say suppose if I click on this, what happens is when I start debugging the file, let me start debugging the file. So the symbol says it is moving, it is transforming from one to next, navigating, right? The same way it starts. Okay, it says some errors. Let me give some value here. Let me just take this to, okay, now let me give something here, hi, and let me remove this. Okay, let me have few more, say simple okay, can I use use, okay, one more log only. Okay, right line. I'm just checking for simple activities so that it won't kill our time. hello. Okay, and next one more activity says log. Okay, just for explanation I am giving this hello techies. Okay, now let us save this. So what and all I have one breakpoint here. Let me toggle one more breakpoint here, so we can either use this or we can right click here and use toggle breakpoint. Yes, this one. Okay, now since that this execution trial been selected, now let us debug this file. You'll understand the difference. Okay, so now see, since that it has started here, you could see something here, right? Partially executed. It says partially executed, right? Now let us step into this. So it's been completed. So it says executed. Now it has moved to this one. So this is the usage of this execution trial. Okay, if I don't select this, let me show you the difference. I'm going to stop this and I'll unselect this execution trial. Okay, so now this been not selected, right? Now let us debug this file again. You will notice the difference. See that the symbol, the partially executed or executed notification button is not available here, right? So it is not notifying us. So that is the usage of execution trial option. Okay, so if I click on step into, see, there's no change, there's no such button, right? So I hope you got the difference. Now let us stop this and let us move on to the next, highlight elements. What is the use of highlight elements? Highlighting the elements. So whichever we are running, it is going to highlight. Now let us use this. I am going to debug. Right, let me just step into this. Okay, and then next. Okay, right. For better understanding, we should use some UI related activities, so that what it will do in background on the screen, it will show, it will highlight that particular elements. Let me do one thing for better understanding. I'll take one Google browser. Let us use some activity. So I have this Google browser now. Now let me add one attach window, attach browser. So I'm going to use it here and indicating this here. Okay, now inside this I'm going to use some click activity and I'm going to indicate this one. Okay, now let us save this and I'll be having a breakpoint on click. Okay, for just for testing purpose, for your understanding, I'm taking one attach browser, so that when it comes to click, it will highlight this particular element, because I have selected this highlight elements option, and it will show it on the browser here. Okay, let me show you clearly this. Let me start the debugging. So it is starting debugging. Right, now let us step into this. See, as soon as I step into this, where it is now, it is, can we just go back to this? Okay, not yet. Let me just step into, okay, it has come to click activity, not yet. Okay, let me step into this. That means it is executed. See, this been highlighted. Okay, so let me show you here. Let me just retry this. Let me stop it. You could see that highlight symbol, right? The red one. Okay, let me just use the focus. Okay, let me stop it. I'll show this again. Just concentrate on the file. Okay, I'm going to step into, and one more step into. Right, as soon as I click on step into, it will come. See this red one, which is nothing but it is indicating on the screen. This is how it is going to highlight. Okay, I hope you got a clear information now on the highlight elements. Okay, now let us move on to the log activities. Okay, so log activities, when you click on the log activities, it will log each and every step related to activities into your logs. Okay, into the log file location. Not only that, it will trace all the log activities as trace logs in your output panel. Let us give a try. Let us start debugging this. You will come to know what I am telling. Okay, I am just clicking step into. Let me go to our output. See, everything been logged. Okay, so step into as trace logs actually. Okay, since that we kept this, it is showing. Okay, now let us go use step into. So all each and every the activity been added as a trace log in output panel. Right, clear? Also, if your system is connected to orchestrator, these logs will be sent to orchestrator. So you can enable that or disable using the settings here. Okay, so that you can reduce the load on orchestrator. Okay, now let us move on to the next one. Let me stop this. Continue on exception. It is self-explained, right? Continue on exception. When I click on this, let me disable this log activities. When I click on this, even though you got some exception, it will skip that, right? That is the assumption. Let us see in detail how to use this. In general, what happens if an exception occurs while debugging, it will show you the exception details, the error details in a window on a pop-up, and it will stop debugging, right? If a global handler is already present in the project, it will be thrown to that global handler as well. To stop this process, I mean to say, in order to continue even though there is an exception, we will use this continue on exception option here. I hope you got this. Next, picture in picture. Picture in picture. What does this mean? Why we use this and when to use? This is not only dedicated to debug functionality, rather it is available even while running the file or project also. The whole purpose of this picture in picture is the session, if you are debugging, the session will be opened or executed in a separate separate window. Okay, so this is very useful in terms of if you are going for attended mode. Okay, attended robots. So clear, right? So the process, whatever you are debugging, will be executed in a separate session, so that if it is in attended mode, you can run or execute or work parallelly. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let us move on to the remote debugging. Remote debugging, there are multiple options in this also. Let us see. Configure remote debugging. Let us configure remote debugging. So connection type, it is showing remote machine, unattended and all. Configure the target for remote execution on a remote machine or an unattended robot connected to orchestrator. This means instead of debugging it here, to debug in a remote place, right? In another machine or on another robot or on an orchestrator, we use remote debugging. Let us know about this in detail. When you get any exception, when you feel like in orchestrator it is not working, if you run here in studio it is working, in such scenarios you are supposed to debug through orchestrator only, right? We'll talk about this in detail through some other sessions with a better example as well for better understanding. For now, to kickstart your debugging process, this is not that much important. Okay, on a high level, you can activate what to say. You can debug your process on a remote machine so that you can configure remote debugging using this connection types. Okay. Now let us move on to the next one, that is profile execution. So when active, execution timing data is collected and displayed at the end of the subsequent runs. That is the use of this, and it has open profiling panel and import profiling session. Okay. Next, move on to the open logs. What it will do, we are collecting the logs, right, when we are debugging. All these, say for example, when you run the process or when you execute the process or when you run the file or when you debug the file or when you debug the entire project, in each and every concept, each and every step will be logged in, right, based on the log activities or based on the settings you provided in, you configured in the studio. So all these will be not only displayed in output panel, whereas it will be saved in a predefined location. Okay, when you click on this, it will automatically open that file. Okay, the file path. Okay, so these are the main actions or the buttons in debug ribbon in UiPath Studio, which are useful while you debug your process. So there are multiple things which you need to learn in this debug. Say a few more panels are available. So we'll cover through our next video as part 3. So for now, let us wind up this session. So with a quick recap, we have covered debug options available, and we have covered the step into, step over and step out and breakpoints, slow step, the use of execution trial, highlight elements, log activities, continue on exception, usage of picture in picture, remote debugging configuration and open logs, right? So I hope you got a clear information and you are confident enough to start with debugging your process in UiPath Studio. So if you like this video, please give a like and share with your friends and colleagues. Also, please do subscribe our channel. For more videos, please click on the bell icon and select all option so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll never miss our videos. And if you have any suggestions or comments on the content, whatever shared so far, please do comment it out using the comment box so that I'll take this as a valuable feedback. Thank you so much for your support so far. Meet you through our next videos. Till then, keep learning, keep watching our videos and happy automating. Bye bye.